Hello, my name is Philip Karubia, and I am an electron microscopist here at the Cornell Center for Materials Research. In my job here, I get to work with very exciting microscopes like this scanning transmission electron microscope. I really like working for the Cornell Center for Materials Research because it gives me the opportunity to do very fun, cutting-edge materials research. And materials research is very fun because new materials often shape the way or directions that humanity is going in. And often, in fact, times are named after materials like the Bronze Age or the Stone Age, or our current age, the Silicon Age. Electron microscopy, or an electron microscope, is a microscope that uses electrons to image samples instead of light. And the reason why we like to image samples with electrons is because we can shoot them very fast at the sample, which gives them a very short wavelength and in fact allows us to get to very high resolutions in the microscope. And in fact, this scanning transmission electron microscope has enough resolution that we can resolve individual atoms in a sample. This microscope is very tall, and at the very top of the microscope we have an electron gun, and that gun essentially shoots electrons toward the sample, and they travel through a series of lenses until they reach the sample, which actually goes in this port right here. And the sample that goes into this giant microscope is very small, small enough that you can't really even see it with your eye. We in fact have another microscope that we use to prep the samples that go in here. So the sample goes here and the electrons travel through the sample and they interact with the sample. And then down below the sample we have another set of lenses and detectors where we can gather a lot of information about the sample. So not only can we image the sample with electrons, but we can in fact, we can acquire chemical information with the samples with our EELS spectrometer, which is in fact at the very bottom of the sample. Often we can in fact get X-rays that come from the sample, which we can use to do elemental analysis of the sample. And we have multiple different types of imaging modes that we can use to image samples in this microscope. So there is a very wide range of data that we can get from a scanning transmission electron microscope or from a transmission electron microscope or a scanning electron microscope are all three different types of electron microscopes that we might use here at the Cornell Center for Materials Research. If you have any questions, you can contact me via email is the best way at pmc228@cornell.edu. And we look forward to working with you.